I want to show you three numbers from a real Amazon ads campaign, about 14,000 impressions, 127 clicks, and 25 attributed orders. These are real campaign numbers, and they show something most authors cannot see inside a KDP, where readers are dropping out before a sale happens. Most authors only see the last number. They see the sales, decide the book isn't performing well enough, and well, hey, they start changing things. Maybe they redesigned the cover, maybe they rewrite the description, or maybe they lower the price or spend more on ads. But those changes solve completely different problems. Before you change anything, you need to know whether your book has a discovery problem, a click problem, or a purchase problem. That is what these three numbers help us figure out. Let's start with the 14,000 impressions. An impression means that the ad was displayed once, not necessarily that a new person saw it. Amazon found roughly 14,000 opportunities to place this book in front of shoppers during this date range. KDP gives me orders, estimated royalties, and Kindle unlimited pages read, but it does not tell me how often the book appeared before a sale happened. So if sales are low, KDP can't tell me whether the book was shown 500 times or 50,000 times. Those would be two very different marketing problems. This is why I do not look at Amazon ads as only a way to buy sales. I look at it as a way to buy information. With sensible bids and a controlled budget, the ads dashboard gives you impressions, clicks, click-through rate, attributed orders, search terms, and cost data that KDP does not. The point is now that we have a way to measure discovery. For this campaign, 14,000 impressions tells me that the book is receiving visibility. It does not automatically tell me whether that amount is good because every category is different, but it gives me a baseline that I can compare with over time. The search term report can help explain that discovery. Your targets are what you ask Amazon to pursue. Search terms are the actual customer searches that actually produced clicks. Those searches reveal whether Amazon is placing the book in front of the right people and how those readers describe the topic. To make this concrete, let's use a completely unrelated example. Suppose the book were a frog picture book for boys. You might target frog book for boys, but discover that shoppers also respond to searches involving swamps, wildlife, friendship, or nature. That information can refine the campaign and show you how readers think about the book or the topic. If a book barely receives impressions, I would begin with its targets, bids, budget, market size, and organic visibility. But this campaign did receive impressions, so now we move to the second number. Out of roughly 14,000 impressions, this book received 127 clicks. That gives it a click-through rate of about 0.91%. Is this 0.91% good? Maybe. A broad keyword behaves differently from a very specific one. A children's book purchased by a grandparent behaves differently from a business book purchased by a person who plans to read it. I would compare this book with its own earlier performance in genuinely similar campaigns, not a random benchmark posted online. What the click tells us is that something about the search result earned that shopper's attention. Before the click, shoppers generally have the cover, title, author name, reviews, format, and price. If a book receives impressions but very few clicks, something in that small package may not be connecting with the shopper. I would look first at whether the cover works at thumbnail size, belongs in the category, and matches the search. Then I would ask whether the title makes the subject, audience, or promise clear. Study the search page as a shelf. Change one major variable, record the date. Give it enough impressions and compare the click-through rate with the earlier period. Now we get to the final number. Those 127 clicks produced 25 attributed orders. That is a click-to-order rate of roughly 20% for this campaign data. I would not turn 20% into a universal benchmark. Different books and audiences convert differently, and Amazon applies its own attribution rules. But it tells me that a meaningful share of shoppers who clicked went on to order. Once somebody clicks, the cover and the title have created interest. It is the digital version of somebody picking up the book from a shelf and deciding whether it is actually for them or for the person that they are buying it for. Your job is not to stand there yelling, "Buy my book." Your job is to remove the uncertainty. Who is the book for? What does it offer? And why should somebody choose it over the books that they were just viewing? But based on the snapshot, the product page would not be the first thing I would completely rebuild. 25 attributed orders from 127 clicks tells me that this page is converting at least some of that interest into orders. I would still compare it with the book's own earlier performance, but I would investigate the click stage before randomly rewriting the entire page. So here's what these three numbers tell me. The book is receiving visibility, some shoppers are clicking, and some of those shoppers are ordering. The campaign is not necessarily perfect, but I know where to look next. I would investigate the impression to click handoff, review the searches, compare the click-through rate over time, and test one major search result element deliberately. So here is the simple version. Low impressions point toward discovery, targeting, bids, keyword, budget, market demand, or organic visibility. Healthy impressions but weak click-through rate point towards targeting relevance, the cover, the title, reviews, format, or price. Clicks without enough orders point toward the description, A+ content, reviews, author information, formats, price, or the promise itself. Discovery, click, purchase. Those are the three stages. KDP mainly shows you what happened at the end. Amazon ads can help you see what happened before the sale or where the sale may have been lost. Once you can see that, marketing becomes much less mysterious. You can stop changing random things because sales were slow. You identify the part of the funnel that needs attention, make one focus change, and watch what happens to the data. So take a look at your own impressions, clicks, and attributed orders. You do not need to share the actual numbers, but tell me which stage you think is holding your book back: discovery, the click, or the purchase.